Point number 4, cosmological argument. Cause of the universe, the law of causality. The theistic view, creation. Everything that had a beginning had a cause. The universe had a beginning, therefore the universe has a cause, and the cause is God. If there is no God, why is there something rather than nothing? We are all left with two options. Either no one created something out of nothing, or else someone created something out of nothing. Nothing comes from nothing. The most reasonable answer is God. B. The Bible clearly teaches us that God had created the universe and then everything will one day come to an end. In the beginning, God, you laid the foundation of the earth, and the heavens are the work of your hands. They will perish, but you remain. They will all wear out like a garment. Like a clothing, you will change them, and then they will be discarded. But you remain the same, and your years will never end. Now, a 60 view evolution point. Science is a search for a cause. That's what scientists do. They try to discover what caused what. And the cause was what scientists now call the Big Bang. The Big Bang was the beginning point for the entire physical universe. Time, space, and matter comes into existence at that point. There was no natural world or natural law prior to the Big Bang. According to Hawking theory, if interpreted realistically, it involves an absolute origin of the universe. His model lacks a beginning point, but it has only a finite past and therefore an absolute origin. He said, almost everyone now believes that the universe and the time itself had a beginning at the Big Bang. The overwhelming evidence for the Big Bang and its consistency with the biblical account in Genesis led the agnostic Robert Jastrow to observe in an interview. Astronomers now find they have painted themselves into a corner because they have proven by their own methods that the world began abruptly in an act of creation, to which you can trace the seeds of every star, every planet, every living thing in the cosmos and on the earth. And they have found that all this happened as a product of forces they cannot hope to discover. That there are what anyone would call supernatural forces at work is now, I think, a scientifically proven fact. Robert Jastrow concludes in his book, God and the Astronomers. For the scientist who has lived by his faith in the power of reason, the story ends like a bad dream. He has scaled the mountains of ignorance. He is about to conquer the highest peak. As he pulled himself over the final rock, he is greeted by a band of theologians who have been sitting there for centuries. So-called the fine-tuning of the universe. Number 1, if the centrifugal force of planetary movements did not precisely balance the gravitational forces, nothing could be held in orbit around the sun. Number 2, if the universe had expanded at rate 1/millionth more slowly than it did, expansion would have stopped, and the universe would have collapsed on itself before any stars had formed. If it had expanded faster, then no galaxies would have formed. Number 3, any of the laws of physics can be described as a function of the velocity of light. Even a slight variation in the speed of light would alter the other constants and preclude the possibility of life on Earth. Number 4, if Jupiter were not in its current orbit, the Earth would be bombarded with space material. Jupiter's gravitational field acts as a cosmic vacuum cleaner, attracting asteroids and comets that might or otherwise strike Earth. Number 5, if the rotation of the Earth took longer than 24 hours, temperature differences would be too great between night and day. If the rotation period were shorter, atmospheric wind velocities would be too great. Number 6. The 23-degree axis tilt of the Earth is just right. If the tilt were altered slightly, surface temperature would be too extreme on Earth. Number 7. If the atmospheric discharge lightning rate were greater, there would be too much fire destruction. If it were less, there would be too little nitrogen fixing in the soil. This could not be by chance. So this is kind of a fine-tuning of the universe. The scientific accuracy and order cannot be by chance. There should be somebody, intelligent designer, so-called the creator God, who put all the things in their right position.